Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. We are going to do Emacs Lisp coding, and let's begin. So I'm going to show you, this video is going to be 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I'm going to write a Emacs Lisp command. I've done many Emacs Lisp tutorials. Just search YouTube, you'll see. But today we are going to write a command that does HTML demote headers. So what does that mean? So for example, header, something, okay, something, let's make it, header 2. So you got something, then let's make it else header 3, show in browser. So you see, we have headers, but if demote, I want to write a command so I can press a key and it becomes H2 becomes H3 and H3 becomes H4. Okay, that's HTML headers. Now if you don't know HTML, okay, so if you don't know HTML, I have a HTML tutorial for beginners. Okay, just search for Xali HTML tutorial so you can learn it. Okay, so but today Emacs Lisp. Let's begin coding. Hello guys, hello. Ayo. Okay, so let's begin headers. Okay, so let's start a Emacs Lisp code and start coding. Now let me double check my voice, my video. Okay, so let's double check one more time. Video check, audio check. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's begin. So we want to define a command. Define, this is a template. Okay, and define a command. And let's document it. The most important thing, version, today's date, and this command is going to demote HTML headers. Now, where do you want to begin? The region or the whole buffer? Okay, let's say the whole buffer. Let's just say that. Except H1. Others, H2 becomes H3 act. Okay, and H6 remains the same. H6 is the smallest header possible. So you can see here's the HTML tags complete list. So you can see you have page structure tags. So you have article section, then you have title section heading. So H6 is the smallest one possible. There's no more after 6. So if you want to demote them, what you gonna do when you have H6? Leave them unchanged. Okay, so that's the design, that's the plan, the goal of the command. Okay, so let's begin. So we're gonna call the command. So in Emacs, you press a key and you'll change it. Similar to org-mod. If you use org-mod has that feature. So okay, so we are start to code it. Demo HTML headers in whole buffer. And on the pink window, you can see all my command calls and keystrokes. I'm using a Vorak layout and Kinesis Advantage 2 keyboard and Ultimate Hacking keyboard. Okay, you can buy, just search for Xali keyboard. Then you can find them. Okay, I have reviews and all that. Buy from my Amazon link. And support me by buy my Emacs tutorial. Okay, so anyway. So you can search, you probably already know if you have watched my videos. I've done tons of Emacs Lisp tutorials. Okay, so anyway, let's begin. So to change header, so primarily that's about find and replace text in current buffer. Okay, find, replace text in current buffer. So that's all we're gonna do. So let's go to Xa Emacs Lisp. You can search for it, you'll find it. Xa Emacs Lisp Basics, and let's go to Practical Emacs Lisp. And there is a section on find and replace text. Okay, so this page tells you how to write Emacs Lisp code to do find and replace. And this is all we need. So just this page, let's copy it. close it. Let's go back to TalkShow. Let's programming blog, close. Let's go to TalkShow and let's paste it here. So later on you can see on my TalkShow page, you can go to the link. Okay, so find replace text. So what is this? Not TalkShow. So let's go back to the code. So actually all we have to do is just copy and paste. copy, and essentially that's what all we need to do. Okay, so let's paste it here, and let's delete that. Okay, so I'm gonna go over. So let declares a local variable. So you want caseflow search set it to nil. That means when Emacs does find and replace, it will be not case sensitive. It'll be a smart, like if the, well, anyway, I'm not going to explain, but because I explained on this page in detail. So basically you want to set this variable. This is a built-in variable that controls case sensitivity. So if you set it to nil, that means don't be don't be smart. Okay, do whatever exactly what we are trying to find and replace. If we try to find lowercase, then find lowercase, do not find the uppercase and things like that. Okay, so caseflow nil. So set a variable, local variable. That's this let is for. Let's turn on, highlight the current line. Okay, set the local variable, then go to char point min. That means go to the beginning of the buffer, move the cursor to the beginning of the buffer, and while search forward, let's do h1. Let's skip h1 because h1 is basically the first header. Usually you don't want to demote it. Okay, so begin with h2. Okay, and search forward is the command you want to use. So while you try to find h2, and if it found it, it'll return true. So this while statement will be true. Okay, so this is a whole block of code. So when it's true, then you want to replace it by h3. Okay, and here is the same thing. You just repeat it. Okay, so let's delete them for now. Delete them. So this is the code. This will replace h2 to h3. Okay, that's not the whole thing, but that's part of it already. Okay, so we can evaluate the code and we can code it right away. Okay, so we need to name the function. So let's name it xr3 html demote header h2 h3 h4 h5 okay, that's it. Leave h6. Okay, so now eval the buffer. Look at the pink window. You can see run current file. That's how you eval buffer. You can call eval buffer, but run current file is my own function. So anyway, so now Emacs knows this command. Now we can meta x and call it. Okay, so go back here. Show in browser. What is this? This is today's talk show. So you can see some example. Let's do it here. Okay, so before we call it, let's double check our code. So we go to the buffer beginning and start to search for it. Neo means okay, so let's look at the documentation for search forward. Okay, describe function search forward. So here's the documentation. Here's the syntax. Here's what the arguments mean. So string optional bound is nil. That's good. No error, true. That's right, because we don't want it to pop up an error when there's no h2, right? So okay, replace match. Okay, so that's it. Eval the buffer, correct. Okay, let's try it on our talk show page. It should change this one to h3. Okay, let's call it xr html demote headers. There it is. Okay, do it. It worked. You see, it changed that one, but we forgot the end tag. So let's go back and fix it. Let's undo. Okay, and go back to the code and fix it. So we need another pair here. Okay, so this block is block of interest, and let's make it a program block so we can make it a syntactical unit. So cut it, put it here, prettify the code. So you can see this is the block, okay? So we can copy that block, paste it again, do the same thing, except this time it's gonna be ending tag. So we need the slash ending tag, okay? Put a comment here and prettify the code. That's it. Eval the buffer. Go back to this page. Let's try it again. So this something h2 will become h3. Okay? Doesn't matter where your cursor is because remember we went to the beginning of a buffer. The cursor, the go-to char point mean. That's the beginning of a buffer. Let's move in the cursor to the beginning of the buffer and do it there. So let's meta x XHTML demote headers. Do it. Fantastic. You see that becomes h3. Now go to the browser. Now watch this part. We're gonna refresh and it should become smaller like that. Okay, refresh. Fantastic. Almost done. Now back to the code. Now we just need to repeat this for h3, h4, h5. Okay. Now the code might be tedious, but that's the way how Emacs Lisp do this. Okay, find replace. Okay, so now it just so that's h2 part. Now let's actually let's okay. So h2, let's h3 becomes h4, and same thing here. h3 becomes h4, and h5 becomes h6. Same thing here. h5 becomes h6. Fantastic. Shrink the code. Let's remove the comment. So remove the redundant comment. Prettify the code. Make them smaller. And let's combine these two blocks into one. You see, these are h2 to h3. These are h3 to h4. And these are h5 to h6. So let's make them a syntactical unit, because you see right now this is a syntactical unit and this is a syntactical unit. What's this PROGN do in Emacs Lisp, in Lisp in general, is that they are just a grouping of code blocks similar to the C language's concept of braces, curly brackets. Okay, so anyway, so let's remove that. Okay, so now you can see now it's one block, you see syntactical unit. Okay, let's do them here and here. Okay, and shrink the buffer so you can see the whole thing. Remove the comment, prettify the code, and remove the empty extra lines. Okay, prettify the code, eval the buffer. Fantastic. We have 3 code units. That 1, 2, 3. You see. Okay, eval the buffer. Go back here. Well, this page is already done. So if we call it again, the h3 is gonna become h4. So let's call it. Do it. Did it do it? It did, but however, you see, once the command finished, it moved the cursor to the beginning. We don't want that. We want the cursor to stay where it is. Okay, but first of all, let's verify if it worked. So, well, it did. You see, h3 becomes h4. Now refresh, they'll become even smaller. Fantastic. Okay, now let's fix the problem. We don't want to move the cursor. Okay, so what we can do is, so we can call save excursion. Okay, now what does save excursion do? Let's look up the documentation. Describe function. Control H F. Okay, that's the default key. Okay, now save excursion. Yes, please. Okay, there it is, the documentation. Here's the syntax and here's the explanation. Save point, the current buffer, execute body, and restore those things. Now, what does point mean? Point means just point is Emacs Lisp jargon. It just means the cursor position. Okay, so save the cursor position, the current buffer, and execute the body here, and restore those things. So that's what we want. So it will restore the cursor position. Okay, so let's now bring back the whole block of code inside it, prettify the code, remove the extra line, eval the buffer, go back here. Now let's call it again. This H4 will become H5, and my cursor will stay in place, stay put. Okay, let's call it, do it. Failed. What? H4 becomes H5. Oh, we forgot, we missed H4. Oh God, okay. Copy that, paste it here. H4 becomes H5. We missed. H4 becomes H5. Now prettify the code. Okay, so H3, H4, H5. Yeah, okay. Eval the buffer back to this page. Call the command. Do it. Wait. Now it becomes H6. H4 becomes H6. Okay, no good. We forgot to change here. Oh, I know what's going on. So you see, you change H4 to H5, then it runs the code, then H5 becomes H6. So it demoted twice. So what you want to do, the order is important. So you want to first do H5 to H6, you want to do this part, then you do this part, H4 to H5, then you do H3 to H4, then you do H2 to H3. Okay, so we just need to reverse the order. Now there's no easy way to do it, to reverse them, so let's just do it manually. Okay, so that goes here and this goes here. Prettify the code. Let's double check. H5, H4, H3, H2. Fantastic. Done. I think we done. Eval the buffer. Switch to this buffer. Now let's call it again. H4 should become H5. Okay, do it. Fantastic. You see, fantastic. Do it again. They will become H6. Fantastic. Okay. Demote HTML headings. Now refresh. Let's check. Refresh. Yeah, it worked. You know, because H5 and H6, they basically have the same size, so it's hard to tell the difference in HTML in browser rendering. Because I can tell you. Do I have an example somewhere? Maybe not. Anyway, so we done that. Okay, so delete those. So this is today's talk show. Let's pop the code back to my browser, showing browser. I mean, back to the talk show page. So you can see the Emacs Lisp code here. Now, syntax color them, back to browser, refresh. Now it looks pretty. Okay, that is what we want to do today, and we've done it. How long have I been talking? 20 minutes. Fantastic. Hi friend, show me this channel because of your Emacs tutorials. Love the streams. Keep it up. Thank you. James Thomas. Oh, James. Okay, great. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so that is done. Yeah, let's call it a day. So I was thinking let's do something else because I'm writing this command not just for the live stream, but also for myself, because I work in HTML all the time. So I find the need to do this. Okay, yeah, so why don't we demo a real world practical example? This is not just academic talking. Real world. So why do I need to do this? Because look at this page. So this is my JavaScript tutorial, so you can check it out. Fantastic JavaScript in depth, And here's a page on sparse array. What does it mean? JavaScript is a language that sucks. So there is tremendous amount of complexities. You have the concept of sparse array, and you have the concept of array-like object. It's not really array. It's not array, but it's array-like. Very complex. And JavaScript, because JavaScript array is not really an array, it's a object. It's very complex. Chip-ching, thank you, Oflamio. Quick one today. So okay, so let me demonstrate this this page, sparse array, JavaScript, and that'll be it. So I'm gonna show you why do I need it. Okay, so copy the URL back to Emacs and open that URL in Emacs buffer. This is my local page. Now go to the directory, shrink the font size so you can see this is my JavaScript tutorial. It's got some 900 pages, including HTML and CSS tutorial. So you can see HTML and visual CSS, visual demonstration of cascading style sheet. Okay, and JavaScript in depth and JavaScript reference, and DOM, which is the practical part of JavaScript, and SVG, fantastic. Now I need to show the SVG clock, so you can write those, reading my tutorial. So okay, so back to the takes a lot of time working on them. That's what I do every day for the past 20 years. So for example, on this page, JavaScript sparse array, copy the URL. Yeah, I already, so it's this page. So now you see this H2, I want to change them to H3. So you see this H2, H2, H2. I want to change them to H3. Okay, so call the command HTML demote we just wrote. Do it. Back to browser. Now refresh, you'll see the headers become smaller. Okay, watch them. Refresh, fantastic. Okay, so that's it for today, but let me tell you what is the reason I want to change demote the header. Why do I want to make them smaller? Because I wanted to add this. Okay, let me just show you. I want to add the section tag. You see that section tag? Wait. Wait. What? Anyway, what? What's going on? Wait, did I change my keyboard? Back to browser, undo. Yeah, so okay, let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to add section, do it, then this part, do it. Basically, I'm adding this section. Okay, so like this thing. Okay, so and here too. Okay, but I'm trying to find the key to jump the tag to the ending tag, but I forgot where is the key. What? Anyway, I'm using HTML mod, so I also need to add here, do it, then add here, do it. Oh, lots of topic. You see, that is exactly why I want to add a section to them. Let me show you in the browser. You'll see it becomes clear. You see, refresh. You see every each one of the section becomes, there's a box, so it's very clear. So it adds clarity on the section headings. And one more thing I want to do is to remove the date for each of the section. Okay, so how you do that? Another Emacs trick. Okay, showing browser. Okay, so you can see here is the tag that added the data. So I want to list matching lines. All lines contain the class date XL. So you can see we just added them, a bunch of them. Now we move the cursor to the beginning and delete matching lines. It's the same thing. They are all good. Show in browser. There it is. That's it. Okay. So if you like my stuff, buy my Emacs tutorial. Okay. So did we show Emacs tutorial? Yes. So you can find my Emacs Lisp tutorial and you can buy them. Okay. Or donate PayPal me. Thank you. Thank you guys. Bye. Fantastic. You see, this is what I want. I want these section boxes. You know, let me talk about HTML. I'm gonna shut down in 1 minute. So extra, you know. So you know, in HTML, why do you want to add an extra section? Because the advantage is that it groups things. So in other words, it creates a grouping. It creates a syntactical grouping of the content that mirrors the semantic, you know, the H3, you know. If you don't have the section, let me remove them, okay? You see, this is a section. Let me show the ping window so you can see what command I call. So you see, I can highlight them, and that command is next window of that command is XHTML select element. And now I can press a key to delete those section element, you see, and that command is XHTML remove tag pair. Okay, so that is why that is extra demo of my XHTML mod. You can also buy the package. Thank you guys. Bye.